Cops are literally ruining many, many lives every single day in this one simple way. And I want you to share this video with every American you know. I am not giving any legal advice in this video. I am not an expert in the law, but there are a lot of lawyers out there who will tell you, and this is the takeaway from this video right here, that a sobriety test, a field sobriety test conducted by a cop is strictly voluntary. And I'm going to read from this law group before I show you this ridiculous example and display of tyranny for all to see, and these cops are getting rewarded for destroying people's lives. This law group says the officer may conduct several different approved tests designed to measure a driver's balance, coordination, and ability to remember and follow instructions. It is important to remember that these tests are voluntary, and a driver can lawfully refuse to participate in a field sobriety test. We've seen in video after video from ex-law enforcement officers, from attorneys, they say you never want to take a field sobriety test because those tests are designed to make you fail and help the officer meet a quota so you can get a plaque on the wall, accolades, a raise. And that's what's happening in this video right here. And this news group, this WSMV4 Channel 4 News in Nashville, is not going to tell you that you can opt out of a field sobriety test. And I get it. It's important to get drunk drivers off the street. The statistic is that somebody is killed in the U.S. by a drunk driver every 39 minutes. That is freaking sobering, no pun intended. But it says 1.5 million people on average are arrested annually for driving under the influence of alcohol or drugs. And I wonder how many of those people are innocent. Take a listen at this news story right here, and we'll make some comments as we go.
A Rutherford County deputy is being criticized tonight for arresting and charging a sober driver with DUI. Good evening, I'm Marius Payton.
I'm Lauren Lowry. And I'm Tracy Cornett. This deputy was just awarded a top honor by Mothers Against Drunk Driving.
How many times have we seen an officer highlighted for good performance, whether drug interdiction or pulling somebody over for seat belts or drunk driving or whatever, or just being a top cop, you know, like Matthew Schneider was highlighted on that Cops TV show. And then we find out a month later that the body cam evidence came out, and I think it was a La Quinta Inn in Glendale, Arizona, where Matthew Schneider terrorized Johnny Wheatcroft with a taser, tasing him almost a dozen times, 2 times in the private parts, in front of his screaming kids, just completely terrorizing that family. So we find out later that these cops that are highlighted, that are congratulated, that are given awards and given rewards are the worst of the worst.
Arresting the highest number of suspected drunk drivers. Our chief investigative reporter Jeremy Finley continues his reporting into how sober people are getting DUIs in Tennessee. Okay, so Jeremy, you just keep finding more innocent people charged with this crime.
Yeah, we sure do. And they are all suffering not only from the humiliation of being charged with a DUI while they're sober, but they have to wait months for blood tests to come back to clear their name. In our investigations, we've been looking closely at the body cameras of these arrests and found troubling similarities. There's a joke around the pool halls in Rutherford County about what David Dutton doesn't shoot.
But kidding me about me being drunk, and they all know that I don't drink.
So you can imagine what his son thought when he got a call from his dad last August.
He said, I got arrested last night. And I said, wait, what?
Saying he'd been arrested for a DUI after playing pool.
So my first was just like, okay, like, what could you have done? You're 75 years old. I know he doesn't drink.
But after being pulled over for a missing headlight and for drifting off the shoulder, Dutton was arrested for DUI, booked, and spent hours in jail. It would take 5 months for the test results to come back, showing he was completely sober the entire time.
The stress level was really bad, and I thought, wow, this is actually how I lose my dad. You know, I thought he would have a heart attack.
And the officer...
And I wonder how many people have. I wonder how many people went crazy. I wonder how many people lost their jobs. I wonder how many people were at the end of their rope anyway. And these cops intercede. And like I said, I get it. Real drunk drivers need to be taken off the road because I don't want to die at the hands of a stupid drunk driver. You don't want to die. I don't want my family to die. So I get that. But to fabricate a crime where there is none so that you can get and you'll see this is a highly awarded individual, this cop from Moms Against Drunk Driving. I wonder what percentage of the people this cop pulled over and charged with a DUI that were innocent.
Who arrested him, Deputy Zach Williams, was awarded the 2023 Top Enforcer honor in the county by Mothers Against Drunk Driving for charging the most drivers, 51 with DUIs.
What percentage of those 51 had their lives ruined for absolutely nothing? What percentage of those could have benefited? Every one of them could have benefited by saying, hey, I'm opting out of your field sobriety test. I'll take a breath test. Got a breathalyzer? Let's do it. Because I'm not drunk. Screw you.
The previous year. By the numbers, an expert on identifying suspected drunk drivers. So how did an expert then charge an innocent man with a crime? And why are we finding case after case of it happening to other sober drivers?
And that's just what we know of. That's when they choose to turn their body cams off and not get in front of the body cam or mute it or turn it off. How many people have really fallen prey to these police officers? Not just these, but police officers all across the nation. And we don't know about it because they didn't have their body and dash cams on.
Throughout Middle Tennessee. Well, body camera footage reviewed by WSMV4 Investigates shows a common theme that could explain why it's happening. Take a look. Not only did Dutton offer up his debit card instead of his ID when officers approached, he repeatedly stumbles during the field sobriety test.
Yeah, because people get nervous when cops are around, and rightly so. And the cops understand this, and they understand they got you over a barrel. You are the prey. They are the predator, and they don't care. They're going to just keep barreling through.
I was just out of balance. Gotcha.
But Dutton also acknowledges his medical problems. He's diabetic, hadn't taken his insulin that night, and suffers from a slipped disc.
So you've been dealing with a disc for 45 years?
Oh, yeah.
Even though the deputy notes, Dutton says he does not have any other physical restrictions, Dutton's son says his 75-year-old father forgot to mention one major issue.
My dad has had vertigo for 10 years.
Here's why that's important. We found sober drivers getting DUIs often have health problems that can impact how they perform on field sobriety tests. William Rose is bow-legged. Bill Shank and Katie Slayton have ADHD, which makes it harder to pay attention to instructions. But there's also this. Before Dutton was even given a field sobriety test, listen to what officers say about people who shoot pool.
Never known a sober person to shoot much pool. Oh, I know.
What a freaking stupid generalization. Hey, we're going to use that as our probable cause. What's our probable cause? Oh, he was shooting pool. Oh, well, we know sober people don't do that.
Show up on a crime scene looking for someone to arrest, you will find someone to arrest.
Murfreesboro attorney Scott Kimberly did not represent Dutton, but estimates he's had 10 to 15 sober clients arrested for DUI and believes too often officers feel they must make an arrest, even if a driver acknowledges health problems.
Increase training to help explain to officers what non-substance abuse, non-alcohol, non-drug explanations could exist for what may otherwise look like criminal conduct.
I don't think a lot of these cops care. And where are all these good cops? There are just a few bad apples. Where's the cop to intercede and go, you know what? Maybe it's because of this guy's age. Maybe he really does have a slipped disc and has been dealing with this thing for 45 years, and that's why he couldn't do our test. Can't we just give him a breathalyzer? That would put an end to everything. It would put an end to these stupid tests. It's like we can have him blow, and if it's zeros, then we don't take him in. If he's above the limit, then we take him in. What's wrong with that? Why don't they do that? Can't be that expensive. How expensive is it?
We wanted to talk to Rutherford County Sheriff's Office and especially Deputy Zach Williams, but their spokeswoman denied that request.
Of course.
Writing in part, we understand that in some rare cases, blood tests return indicating no drugs or alcohol. In those cases, the charges are dismissed. But that does not mean that probable cause did not exist at the time of the arrest. Probable cause that made this pool show.
There was no probable cause on this. The only reason they pulled him over was for a traffic citation. There was something messed up about his headlights. And then they use that as justification to conduct their fishing expedition. And then they say, hey, step out of the car. And then one thing leads to another. And now we've got more bodies for the prison industrial complex.
Sink to a new level of humiliation.
It was embarrassing because I had to call a neighbor, was my cousin really, lives 2 doors down from me, to come and get me at 3 o'clock in the morning and tell him I was in jail.
Okay, so Jeremy, are police officers even required to conduct a medical assessment before you're asked to do a field sobriety test?
Well, they are, Lauren. One of them is what you're seeing here. It shows how well you can follow an object with your eyes. And Mr. Dutton actually passed that test and then failed the field sobriety test. As you just heard, attorneys like Scott Kimberly say it's time for training statewide on DUI arrests to focus more on potential other reasons people fail the test. Tracy?
There are a lot of sober cops who would fail that stupid field sobriety test. And the worst field sobriety tests are the ones that they conduct on boats. It's absolutely ridiculous. So let me just end the video with this. All of these field sobriety tests, according to the experts, are voluntary, and any driver can lawfully refuse to participate. Let everybody know. Share this video. Thanks for being here. Subscribe to this channel. Hit the bell notification icon. Give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my email list through my website, highimpactflix.com. And I have a brand new channel called The Disturbing Illusion. This is where we expose the left versus right political dog and pony show parade filled with clowns. And I really appreciate you guys being here. If you want to support the channel further, grab a shirt, become a channel member, but more importantly, know what your rights are and fight for those rights, because I'm telling you, people are out there and they are converging and they are conspiring to take those rights. And unless we stand on them, we lose everything. I'll see you in the next video.